very good observer, Cole.
We have a very advanced program, something very different.
An opportunity to reduce your sentence considerably.
And possibly play an important role in returning the human race to the surface of the Earth.
No license, no prints, no warrants.
Take him down!
Well, he took on 5 cops like he was dusted to the eyeballs.
What year is this?
What year do you think it is?
1996.
That's the future, James. Do you think you're living in the future?
I am simply trying to gather information to help the people in the present trace the path of the virus.
We're not in the present now.
This is a place for crazy people.
I'm not saying you're not mentally ill. For all I know, you're crazy as a loon.
The army of the 12 monkeys, they're the ones that spread the virus.
Monkeys.
He's been living in a meticulously constructed fantasy world, and that world is starting to disintegrate.
You haven't become addicted to that dying world?
No, sir.
He needs help.
You think I'm crazy when people start dying next month? I don't belong here.
You're here because of the system.
I know some things that you don't know.
Yes, my son.
You sent me to the wrong year.
You're certain of that?
Science ain't an exact science.
You had a bullet from World War I in your leg, James. How did it get there?
I don't know.
You're a trained psychiatrist. You know the difference between what's real and what's not.
You said that I had delusions. You said you could explain.
I'm trying to.
I want the future to be enough.
I can help you. Get you out.
You can't hide from them. Don't even try.
We're all monkeys.
The thing mutates. We live underground.
They're watching you.
I just want to do my part to get us back on top in charge of the planet.
En termes de moyens, en termes de budget, quand on sait que l'homme le plus riche de la planète, qui s'appelle Bill Gates, a une forme de philanthropie qui veut nous amener à l'épandage d'oxyde de fer dans les océans ou des particules dans l'atmosphère pour gérer le climat, on sait que derrière, il y a des moyens.
If this doesn't work, then what? Do we have to start taking emergency measures to try and keep the temperature of the Earth stable?
Yeah, if you get into that situation, it's like if you've been overeating and you're about to have a heart attack, you know, then where do you go? You may need heart surgery or something. There is a line of research on what's called geoengineering, which are various techniques that would delay the heating to buy us 20 or 30 years to get our act together. Now, you hope, that's just an insurance policy, you hope you don't need to do that. Some people say you shouldn't even work on the insurance policy because it might make you lazy, that you'll keep eating because you know heart surgery will be there to save you. I'm not sure that's wise given the importance of the problem, but there's now the geoengineering discussion about should that be in the back pocket in case things happen faster or this innovation goes a lot slower than we expect.
Climate skeptics, if you had a sentence or two to say to them, how might you persuade them that they're wrong?
Well, unfortunately, the skeptics come in different camps. I mean, the ones who make scientific arguments are very few. You know, are they saying that there's negative feedback effects that have to do with clouds that offset things? There are very, very few things that they can even say, you know, there's a chance in a million of those things. The main problem you have here, it's kind of like AIDS. You make the mistake now and you pay for it a lot later. And so when you have all sorts of urgent problems, the idea of taking pain now that has to do with the gain later and a somewhat uncertain pain thing. In fact, the IPCC report, you know, that's not necessarily the worst case. And there are people in the rich world who look at IPCC and say, okay, you know, that isn't that big of a deal. The fact is it's that uncertain part that should move us towards this. But my dream here is that if you can make it economic and meet the CO2 constraint, then the skeptics say, okay, I don't care that it doesn't put out CO2. I kind of wish it did put out CO2, but I guess I'll accept it because it's cheaper than what's come before.
Well, Bill, I suspect I speak on behalf of most people here to say I really hope your wish comes true. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ça, c'est la télévision. Tout est là. Tout est là. Regarde, écoute, à genoux, prie. La pub. On n'est plus productif, on ne sert plus à rien, c'est fini, ils n'ont plus besoin de personne. Tout est automatique, c'est quoi notre rôle maintenant? On est tous des consommateurs, Jim. Eh non, ça s'ouvre pas. On croit qu'on peut enlever la grille, mais non. Elle est soudée. Tu vois, je te l'ai dit. Et toutes les portes sont verrouillées. C'est pour protéger les braves gens de l'extérieur, mais le problème c'est que ceux qui sont dehors sont aussi fous que nous. Tu sais ce que c'est que la folie? La folie, c'est la loi de la majorité, voilà, oui. Tiens, prends les microbes par exemple. Les microbes? Ouais. Au XVIIIe siècle, il n'y avait rien de tout ça. Nada, que dalle. Personne n'aurait imaginé un truc pareil. Personne de sain d'esprit en tout cas. Et voilà que s'amène le docteur... Semmelweis. Semmelweis s'amène donc et il essaie de convaincre les braves gens. Les docteurs surtout. Je veux dire qu'il existe des tout petits trucs invisibles qu'il appelle des microbes qui entrent dans l'organisme et provoquent des maladies. Ouais. Et il demande à tous les docteurs de se laver les mains. Non mais tu te rends compte, il était fou allié. Hein, des petits trucs invisibles. Et comment il appelle ça hein, des microbes, hein, quoi. Alors, revenons au XXe siècle. Hein, à la semaine dernière, même pour être plus précis, juste avant qu'on me coince dans ce trou à rats. J'entre dans un fast-food et je me commande un hamburger. Le type m'en amène un et le laisse tomber par terre. Jim, il le ramasse et puis il l'essuie comme ça, et me le tend carrément, comme si de rien n'était. Et les microbes, je lui dis. J'y crois pas aux microbes, il me répond. Les microbes, c'est des trucs qu'ils ont inventés pour vendre des savonnettes et des désinfectants. Alors, lui, il est cinglé, pas vrai? Tu vois? Y a pas de vérité, y a pas de mensonge, tout est une question d'opinion. Tu crois aux microbes, toi, pas vrai?
Je suis pas cinglé.
Bien sûr que non, tu veux t'évader, toi, pas vrai? C'est vraiment censé, ça, c'est vraiment censé. D'ailleurs, je peux t'aider. Tu voudrais bien que je t'aide à t'envoler?
Tu saurais sortir d'ici?